Hi, I'm Chris Biffle. Now, let's talk about the 5 classroom rules that we use in power teaching from kindergarten all the way up to high school. I'm going to show you the rules and a gesture to go along with each one. Rule number 1, follow directions quickly. Rule number 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule number 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Rule number 4, make smart choices. Rule number 5, keep your dear teacher happy. Now, here's some signs that go along with our 5 classroom rules. Here are the same rules, but in a format more appropriate for teenagers. All right, those are our 5 classroom rules. But just having the rules, it really doesn't give the class the directions they need. Just having the rules up on the board, it doesn't change behavior. It doesn't give the class the structure that those kids really need. So what should we do with the rules? Well, we should practice the rules. In elementary school, practice the rules first thing in the morning, after first recess, after lunch, after second recess, before they go home. In middle school and high school, at least practice the rules at the start of each period. Well, how do you practice the rules? It's got to be fun. If it's not fun, you don't have student engagement. And that's what we're looking for all the time in power teaching is student engagement. So here's some fun ways to practice the rules. You could say, Rule 1, and then your kids will say, Rule 1, follow directions quickly. You say, Rule 2, and your kids say, Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. So you could give the prompt and the kids could give the rule with the gestures. Or you could use a silly voice. You'd say, Silly voices, Rule 1. And your kids will say, Rule 1, follow directions quickly. Robot voices, Rule 2. And your kids will say, Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. So you can use different kind of voices that's engaging, that's fun. Or you could have one of your kids come up to the front of the classroom, then that particular student says, Rule 1, and the class follows along. So that's 3 ways that we have to practice the rules. You give the prompt, the students reply. You use a silly or unusual or engaging voice, and the students mimic that voice. Or you have a student come up to the front of the classroom and guide the rest of the class in those rules. Practice the rules. We got to put them into our students' brains so they know what the rules are. In the next tape, we'll talk a little bit more about how to make those rules help the kids create a really energetic classroom environment.